Bismillah, in the last video, we're going to explore the issues in developing and implementing AtAs. Yeah? Among the issues, for example, like the CLO are more rote learning in nature. That means to say the CLO requires students to state, okay, or list down, okay, conceptual knowledge and etc. there. So, let's say if, the CLO are there. Number one, look at other CLOs in which authentic assessment can be developed. That's number one. However, this one is an extreme case lah, which a very minority case, okay? But there is such a course in which all their CLO is very conceptual in knowledge, okay? If the lecturers and the subject matter expert in that particular course, okay, feels that it is, it's supposed to have authentic assessment, it's supposed to have learning outcome that is much more practical, then the suggestion is, okay, to review the curriculum, okay, in the future there. Or else, then the lecturer should accept that it is a course that the nature is really conceptual in knowledge, and that's okay. Sometimes courses are like that, but if let's say the subject matter expert really believe that the course can have authentic assessment, is supposed to have authentic assessment, so probably you wait for another review there, and then suggest that the course learning outcome should be revised and changed to include at least one learning outcome which an authentic assessment can be done. It's a learning outcome that is much more practical. Now, how about, authentic tasks are sometimes very time consuming. Okay, so this is very true. Okay, as compared to doing a 20-mark test, okay, within 1 hour, an authentic task sometimes requires students to even do presentation or do demonstration, and it takes a lot of time. Okay, it takes a lot of time. This is very real, but then again, that is among the cost of authentic tasks that we need to bear. Okay, however, let's say if time is really against, okay, what are the resources available, then you may try scaling the task down. Okay, so instead of fully preparing a complete dish of curry, let's say for example, right, you can scale it down to having several episodes of, okay, so this one small authentic task, okay, requires them to only cook the paste of the curry, and then continue with another small authentic task, okay, focusing on how they cut the chicken, for example, there, and then another small authentic task which only focusing on them balancing all the ingredient and producing the final product. So you can also scale it down. Okay, scale it down to something that requires less time, okay, than what normally should it actually take. Okay, so the scale down could actually mean breaking it into smaller parts. Okay, it could actually be also reducing the expectation. Okay, so instead of create an Indian curry, so you might require them to create to cook a Indian curry. You probably let's say like this one is just assuming, so assuming that the Malay curry is simpler, okay, to be made, to be cooked than Indian curry. So you scale it down to, instead of requiring them to cook an Indian curry, so you ask them to cook a Malay curry. Okay, so or using ingredients that is much more easily managed as compared to the original one. So you can actually scale it down, okay, tune down the difficulty of the particular task. Okay, and then rubrics is too generic. Okay, so these are among the issues, okay, in which the because authentic task, remember, one of the criteria is that it should be open-ended. Okay, and rubrics, some certain criterias of rubric, okay, is expected to be very generic. Like for example, one of the element there, creativity in in garnishing the curry dish, let's say for example, so that you give them 1 mark. That is very generic. Okay, it's very generic there, and that's to be expected in a rubric, and that's okay. Okay, just that you need to have other methods of reducing the variability of the rater when they mark. Okay, so this one can be solved by doing moderation and then continual quality improvement in refining the rubric. So it would take some time to really refine, okay, so that assessors or evaluators, lecturers would have a common understanding of every elements in the rubric. So it is going to be expected that certain criteria in the rubric is generic, but okay, to reduce it, okay, moderate it, and then do continual quality improvement in order to refine and produce a better version of the rubric in time. So it requires some time to actually mature. So these are among the several issues that okay may concern when designing or developing and implementing authentic assessment for a particular course. Okay, so this will be the references here. So I will make this available there. So inshallah, during our face-to-face session, you can also share other issues and challenges that you actually face in implementing your authentic assessment in your particular course. So inshallah, we're going to meet in our face-to-face session in the future. Thank you.